Hello and welcome to 50Fabulous Knits. My name is Pia. I am a Danish knitter, still hanging out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, enjoying time with my family. This channel is my happy space where I get to talk about yarn and knitting, and I am so happy that you're joining me here today. I really hope that you will enjoy this episode. Today I am wearing my Texas Shawl, but not for long, because it's a hot day, or at least warm, I will say, here in Texas. Whew, so it's way too warm to wear a shawl, maybe later tonight. But I thought I would wear it because I am releasing this shawl today. I have no idea why I'm calling it the Texas Shawl. It's just always been the Texas Shawl in my mind. I did get the idea for it. I did draw the first sketches for it while here in Texas, but I knitted while in Italy and I created the pattern while in Denmark. But anyway, what I did do to justify calling it the Texas Shawl is that in one side I substituted the usual pom-pom with a Texas star, a little lone star, and the pattern does include instructions to make this little star. It's super easy, and it would actually also make for a beautiful ornament if knit up in a Christmassy color. Okay, I'm gonna have to go like this. Yes. So this shawl is actually a very, very good project. Not to toot my own horn, but if you're curious about mosaic knitting, slip stitch patterns, but are a little intimidated by the whole process, this would be the perfect gateway into complicated mosaic knitting, because this is super simple mosaic knitting. Plus, most of the shawl is actually just garter stitch. So you do all these garter rows, and then you do a very simple, the simplest slip stitch pattern that you could imagine. You do some more garter rows and you just repeat the very simple slip stitch. And then you get to the border down here, which looks kind of complicated, but really is not. It is with mosaic knitting, as with all color work. What can make it difficult is if your floats are very long. In this shawl, your floats are never more than one stitch. So it is a very easy way to get comfortable with mosaic knitting. I knit this in some drops alpaca silk. You could also use a heavier silk mohair or a suri alpaca to get this light and airy and fluffy shawl that is just gorgeous. It's warm, it's so nice. You can actually curl it up in a ball. It doesn't take up much space in your purse, and yeah, quite the easy knit, if I do say so myself. I did not put a pom-pom here in the middle because I actually like to be able to also use this as a scarf, like so I could use it as a scarf or as a shawl or however I want to wear it on any given day. But yeah, I am not gonna wear it at all today because it's just too warm. This week I have no finished objects to share with you. None whatsoever. Which means that my whips will also be things that returning viewers will have seen before. And I do know that if I were to choose one of these whips and just work on that one, I'd be able to finish something. But the heart wants what the heart wants, right? So I am still plucking away on my Brise, which, I mean, I did finish the body of this. I picked up the sleeves, the stitches for the sleeves, but didn't knit on it. I am gonna finish it though, because this will be absolutely perfect for any kind of Christmas celebrations that will be going on, because it is so light and airy. You know, you have the lace portion up here, but also the yarn is perfect for this season, at least for indoor garments, because it's 50% silk, 50% merino wool. So you get all the best from the silk and the wool combined. You get the drapey, heavy material with the wonderful deep and glowy colors. And you also get some of the sturdiness from the wool and the memory, so that the garment actually holds its shape really nicely. So I will be finishing this up very, very soon, because I do want to wear this. The Brise is my own pattern. I will of course link to it in the description box below. The yarn that I'm using is from Dream in Color yarns. I am using their Suzette base. As I said, it's 50% merino, 50% silk, and it's the colorway called Rochambeau. I'm just gonna, no, I can't, oh, I'm sorry, I have a new camera. I'm not very good at this, but maybe if I do like this, will you be able to see the colorway? I will also put that in the description box below. The other thing that you have seen again and again before is, let me find it here. No, not here. Okay, this one you've only seen once before. This was my Thanksgiving cast on. The half and half wrap from Paul Soho. This time knit up in a DK weight. The pattern was originally written for a fingering weight. I knit 2 fingering weight half and halves. But yeah, inspired by Jackie from the Caddy Jack's Knits podcast, I decided to go ahead and try to make myself one in a DK weight. And it seems that I will easily be able to get away with 3 skeins of each color in the DK weight. I'm knitting the small size, and it's gonna be huge because of course the gauge is much larger. It is just, I shouldn't be knitting on this, because this was actually intended as something that I could knit on once we're back in Denmark. I know that we're gonna be going to so many celebrations, parties, dinners, lunches, whatnot. So I thought it would be nice to have something simple that I could bring everywhere and just sit and knit on. But I can't not knit on it. So yeah, I really should stop knitting on this, put it down, and knit on something else. One of the sweaters that I really need to finish. What I should be knitting on instead of my half and half is this. My family sweater, because this actually has a deadline. I'll write more about that in the description box below. But anyway, this is, for new viewers who haven't seen it before, my 7th edition of the family sweater. Again, one of my own patterns. It seems that all I want to do these days is re-knit patterns that I have knit before. It's my 3rd Brise, my 3rd half and half, my 7th family sweater. Yeah. But anyway, what I'm doing with this is I am omitting the Estonian braids that the original has on the yoke, just to make a very plain and simple sweater. And then I'm gonna put in a rolled neck. And because I'm a little unsure of the fit, how to create a rolled neck that really sits well, I did a provisional cast on here so that I have live stitches on hold up here so I can work on the rolled neck last and rip it out without having to do anything to the entire sweater. So yeah, this is definitely what I should be working on, and I have put in some work. Separated for the sleeves, knit a good part of the body, but I still have a long way to go on this one. But it's the kind of nice, mindless knitting that can just go on while you're busy doing other things. And I have been busy doing other things this week. This week has been quite the roller coaster. It started out really not good. We all got sick. Like, we had fever, coughing. My body felt like I had been hit by a truck and someone had picked me up and smashed me into a wall. We were poor. So of course we went to the doctor to get tested. No COVID, just good old bacteria infection. So we got some antibiotics, and of course that made us feel better within a few days. And then the fun started. I have been telling over and over on this podcast how we were expecting our little Lucas, our 4th grandson, to be born on December 6th. Actually, my daughter-in-law was scheduled for a C-section on December 6th. So we were like, that's when it's gonna happen. That's the plan. Clearly, that was not Lucas's plan. So, on Tuesday, almost a full week early, my daughter-in-law went into labor. Her water broke and she started having like small contractions. So off they went to the hospital, and yeah, a couple of hours later, we had our little Lucas. And he is beautiful, and he is everything that we expected him to be, and even more. He's adorable. Oh, yeah. So we have been spending a lot of time, first being sick, then being together with John, Lucas's older brother, who's 2. So we were quite busy the days that the parents was in the hospital, and now swooming over little Lucas and little John. Later today, we're gonna go to Jurassic World exhibition in Dallas, and tomorrow we're taking him to the Christmas parade. So we're trying to do some fun stuff with John. But yeah, that also means that there has not been a lot of knitting time. There's been a lot of happy time instead, which, I mean, usually my knitting time is also my happy time, but I'm sure you know what I mean. There is one project that I really want to cast on, and that is my gnome MCAL. I am participating in Imagine Landscape's gnome knit-along, a mystery knit-along, and I really want to get started. But on the other hand, I want to make sure that when I start, I have time to really enjoy the process. I bought this yarn for my gnome. These are very Christmassy colors to me. I'm not crazy about very green, very red, very white for Christmas. I prefer the subdued colors, like the gnomes in the back, and they're probably super blurry, but I like those subdued, more natural looking colors. That's a gnome to me. So yeah, I am really looking forward to sitting down and starting with clue 1, just start knitting my little gnomes, but nothing has happened yet. This is just a very affordable yarn, bee yarn. It is called 44th Street. And the colorways that I have chosen for this project is Shale, it is Olive. I'm gonna hold it like this so you can actually see the color. The red one is called Ruby. The names actually say it all. Ruby, that's the perfect name for this colorway. And the last one is Camel. So yeah, together I'm sure that they're gonna make a great gnome. And of course, there's way too much yarn here for a gnome. So I'm thinking that I will also be knitting little Christmassy small thingies. Like one year I knit 24 little socks that I used as an advent calendar for Peter. Haven't used it as an advent calendar since, but the little socks always hang in our kitchen every year. Just being nice and Christmassy. I'm thinking I would like to make either little mitts or little hats or maybe teeny tiny gnomes. I'll figure that out. We'll see what I end up doing, but I do want to cast on some small Christmassy projects because I love having those small projects for Christmas, just tiny little decorations and stuff. Really looking forward to that. I also have a brand new cast on because clearly I don't have enough on my needles. And what's a week without a cast on? So on Wednesday, I had the greatest day. I was meeting up with some podcast Instagram friends. One of them, Linda, was kind enough to come and pick me up. And we then went to the McKinney Knittery where we met up with Dorothy and with Marna. And a couple of other people came by and we just had an amazing time together. We did try to sit and knit together for a while, but there was just so much going on and I didn't knit a stitch, but I did see that Dorothy was actually knitting on the Texas Shawl, one of my patterns. Anyone who's been following this podcast knows that I'm not a great sock knitter. I find sock knitting kind of intimidating. It needs to be so tightly knit and it needs to be so neat and so, it's kind of fiddly. And I don't know that my socks, some of them really fits me well, but then I forgot to write down what I did. Just not a great sock knitter. But yeah, Dorothy convinced me that I should just go ahead and start knitting some socks because they're wonderful projects. And she's totally right. I didn't get any sock yarn at the McKinney Knittery. I will show you what I got there later. I want to show you the sock that I cast on for because, see, a sock or the beginning of a sock. But just look at the yarn, how beautiful this yarn is. This is some Madeline Tush in her sock base, and it's the colorway Whiskey Barrel. And I've been looking at this colorway for a long time. I think it's so pretty. So on Wednesday, after we met up at the McKinney Knittery, Peter came to pick me up together with little John. We went out in McKinney, had some lunch, saw the Christmas tree and the little merry-go-round they had. And then we were actually planning on going back. But then Linda had mentioned, and also some of the viewers of this podcast had mentioned, that there was this very cute little town just outside of McKinney called Farmersville, and they had some yarn stores. So yeah, we decided to go that way. We went up to Farmersville. It was cute. Fiber Circle, which was one of the yarn shops that had been recommended to me, was closed, but Linda had recommended Yarn and You, and wow, that was a beautiful yarn shop. Hello there.
Daddy, Mommy.
I'm sorry. Everyone's at home, and yeah, if someone needs grandma, then that's how it is. But I was talking about Yarn and You, the local yarn shop that I went to up in Farmersville. That was such a nice place. There was a lot of people in there knitting and chatting away, and I got to talk with the owner, who was just so sweet. She showed me around, and it was amazing. I could probably live in a place like that and just start from one end knitting up all the yarn. It was lovely. I did get some sock yarn. I got the Madeline Tush, because when in Texas, you need some Texas hand dyers, right? So this one, and this has been on my wish list for a long time. Plus, yeah, Dorothy, I am knitting a sock with it. I also got some other sock yarn from a new to me dyer, Paca Pets, it's called. It's an alpaca yarn company. So I bought some of their sock base in the colorway Age of Steel, and it was this sock set with this beautiful variegated gray, and then a brownish, grayish, blackish mini for the cuff, heels, and toes. And now that I bought this set, I can go away and tell you guys, I've never knit a sock with contrasting cuffs, heels, and toes. Never. So this will be a completely new experience for me, and a memory of a great yarn shop that I just found because of the lovely knitting friends that I have been blessed with through this podcast. I'm definitely going back to Yarn and You. She also participates in the North Texas Yarn Crawl, which is something that I really want to do. I will say and see if I can plan a visit around that next year. I'm going to include some footage from the shop, because she kindly allowed me to do a little video and take some photos of all the wonderful little things that was in there. I mean, there was yarn enough even for my greedy little heart, but there was also all kinds of little funny things in there. So yeah, I'm gonna include some footage here at the end. But before I do that, I want to mention one more thing. I have been talking about this before, the Christmas Day cast on. I have this tradition that every year I prepare a very special cast on for Christmas morning. In Denmark, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th in the evening. That's where we have the family coming. We have a big meal together. After that, we gather around the tree, we dance around it, singing carols, and then we open all the presents that has been under the tree. And then on Christmas morning, I love to be able to just tiptoe down the stairs, go into this completely messy living room with all the leftovers from a beautiful night, make myself a cup of Christmas tea or some hot chocolate maybe, and then just make myself comfortable in the couch, still in my pajamas. You cannot change out of your pajamas on Christmas Day. And then cast on for something very special, something that I have been preparing and waiting for and looking forward to the whole month. Last year I made a hashtag so that other people could join me and show their project for Christmas Day, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do this again this year. The hashtag is going to be FF-jul. FF is for Fiftyfabulous. Jul is the Danish word for Christmas. So if you want to join me with a Christmas morning cast on, then please post your photos on Instagram using that hashtag, showing me what patterns you're contemplating, what yarns you want to use, or where you're planning to sit when you do your very special cast on, what you're planning to drink or eat, anything related to this very special moment on Christmas morning where we cast on for something beautiful. I have decided what I'm going to be making this year. I don't have the yarn right here, but it's a beautiful yarn that I was gifted from a Danish hand dyer called A Knitter's World. It's her yak silk base in some gorgeous autumnal colors. I'm just gonna pop a photo here. I have shown it before. I have decided that I'm gonna make myself a luxury scarf because this yarn is so soft. So I need to have it really close to me, and around the neck is perfect for something that will never itch no matter what. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a full-on colorwork scarf, but very simple colorwork, and I will be knitting it in the round, so it's gonna be an easy project, but still with something to hold my interest. And to be honest, I am regretting making this my Christmas cast on because I want to start now. But on the other hand, I also love to have something good to look forward to. I hope you want to join me for this knit along, or maybe not even a knit along, more of a dream along. There will be a beautiful prize. On January 1st, I am going to draw a winner from all of the posts on Instagram using the hashtag FFJul. And the winner will receive a kit for my Knit with No Name. Henriette from By Kilarek will be donating the merino in the beautiful Fiftyfabulous color. I will be donating some silk mohair and the pattern for the cardigan. So one of you is going to get a New Year cast on, which is also a good thing. And the rest of you will hopefully enjoy sharing your dreams for a Christmas knit and seeing what other people are planning. And now I think I'm needed out there. I'm so sorry for all the interruptions, but I really wanted to record an episode today, even though things are a little bit hectic around here. I just had to check in with you guys, show you what little I've been doing, and share the news about little Lucas arriving. So thank you for your time. Thank you for checking in with me. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Mommy.